the month of April is a crucial month for Nigeria's microfinance industry as players are expected to have met the first threshold of the recapitalization deadline set by the Central Bank of Nigeria in March 2019. Rogers Nwoke, the former president of the National Association of Microfinance Banks, joins me now to bring us up to speed on developments in the space. Thank you so much for your time today, sir. And let's get that progress report on what we're seeing play out and how our microfinance banks are, getting set for this first threshold.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, the recapitalization program is on, and the banks are doing their best. However, and I believe you all understand that it's a very difficult time, looking at the state of the economy, look at the inflation rate, looking at returns that investors are getting from their investments, looking at the performance of the capital market. If you compare it to when the commercial bank did the 25 billion naira recapitalization, the conditions are not the same. There has been a significant downturn. So getting new investors, getting existing investors to put in money has been a very tall order. But the banks are trying. Our big issue is we think that the timing is not very, very, very good.
All right, now let's get into what the key challenges are here. Yes, you talked about the macro environment there, but how much has the COVID-19 pandemic impacted the chance by microfinance lenders to get that much needed traction?
Yes, thank you very much. The COVID-19 pandemic and the economic shutdown is actually the key challenge, because even the banks that were almost at the verge of concluding deals to inject new capital, many have had this shutdown. As you know, restrictions on movement. Some lenders have completely shut down, moving out, going to new deals. We have several of our colleagues who were either to travel or receive investors who were coming to do due diligence, people going out there for some form of road shows and other. Everything came to a complete standstill. Some institutions are just about getting their beat back. So it's a situation where a particular segment, and a very important, significant segment of international funding, ordinarily recapitalization for our sector should have led to foreign direct investment. But due to the COVID-19 situation around the world, that is not happening. Many institutions are still watching out to see, and you see there's a complete change of business models, and the way people do business has completely changed. So that segment of support to aid recapitalization has completely shut down. And that is why we are asking the CBN to take a long shift. Let us all see how things get back to normal.
All right, but Mr. Nwoke, reports reaching us is that only about 30% of the microfinance banks will be able to meet the first threshold deadline at the end of this month. For you though, what would be that ideal extension for the microfinance bank to meet the first threshold?
Okay, we have actually the first threshold, yes, is at the end of this month, and then the final closure for it to be April next year. We are asking for an extension for the full closure up to 2025. The reason being that there are several other issues plaguing the sector. It's not just capitalization. Recapitalization does not solve all the problems. It's not going to become a beautiful day after recapitalization. What we have said to the Central Bank of Nigeria is, first, give a long extension up to 2025, and then let us review the entire business model for the recapitalization. If you take a look at the national microfinance policy that we have adopted, and look at what has happened, find out that we have completely departed from the regulatory perspective. If microfinance banks were funded as provided for in that policy, which says that should be a microfinance development fund to support, trading, and microfinance banks would have fared better. Even when the micro, small, and medium enterprises development fund was launched, microfinance banks got just about 5% of that 220 billion. Today, there several interventions have been done, and they are all channeled through only one bank, the CBN-owned National Microfinance Bank.
But Mr. Nwoke, very quickly though, is there any headway in the engagement you're having with the central bank on this possible extension? Very quickly.
Well, the only headway we've made was the initial time when we asked them to break the unit license capital requirement into two, because putting microfinance banks in the cities and those in the rural areas was going to be a challenge, and they listened to us, and then we asked for an extension then, but they gave a 1-year extension, and we think that that is not enough, because when these discussions were taking place, the COVID-19 pandemic hadn't taken place. Everything looked normal. But having done that, and they gave just a 1-year extension, it's not sufficient. Looking at the environment, the business environment today, looking at the state of the economy, looking at inflation rates, looking at the exchange rates, and everything that should support the attraction of capital into that sector, is looking downwards, and that is not encouraged.